Hello, everyone. Oh, I have a frog in my throat. Welcome to this month's edition of the AMA, the Ask Me Anything with OM System. We are here tonight. We're going to talk about all things outdoor photography. So if you have questions about weather sealing, if you have questions about lenses, if you have questions about computational features that would make your hiking, outdoors, landscape, butterflies, whatever photography more better and more exciting, we're here to answer those questions. And tonight I'm being joined by a bunch of my colleagues from Europe. So I will start off. We'll drop Fanny in first. Welcome to the stage, Fanny. Nice to meet you and see you.
Hello, nice to meet you and to see you again, Mishala.
Yeah,
so
I guess we've met.
I'm in Germany, so this is already after dinner.
So you're nice and full. You're ready to take a nap.
Not really, but I'm relaxed now.
Well, we have another friend from Germany as well. Nils is joining us. I've never done an AMA with you, Nils. Welcome.
Hi, girls. Good evening from Germany, from the sunny Hamburg.
Is it sunny there right now?
No, it's sunny. It's sunny. It's a little bit cold, but it's sunny. It's okay. It's okay.
Ah.
Not typical for Hamburg.
I was going to say, I feel like Hamburg is usually not sunny and it's usually cold.
And wet.
And of course, last but not least, our favorite, Tomasz. Welcome.
Hello, everyone. Hi, Mishala, Fanny, Niels, everyone watching today.
Good evening.
Hello there.
Yeah, we have a lot of people joining us today, which is super great. So we've got people from all over the US, as well as a bunch of people from Europe as usual. I saw Madrid up there, but also New Zealand is here. So I don't know what time it is in New Zealand right now, but it seems like not a great time to be watching this. So thank you for joining us anyway. Oh, and I see some familiar faces from the US. I don't know if you guys see any familiar faces, but for one, I'll do some housekeeping. Welcome to the show. As always, we answer your questions in the order that they come in. We will obviously be recording this as well, so it'll be available as soon as this live stream ends. It'll be on our OMSYSTEM.Cameras YouTube channel, so you can come back and watch it at any time. And this week, or this month, I thought we would kick it off a little bit different. Tomasz actually has a couple of slides to share with us to kind of talk about some of his favorite outdoor gear that he likes to pack for when he's exploring. And we'll kick that off, and then we will kick over to some of your Q&A, all right?
Okie dokie.
He just turned himself black. Bye, Tomasz.
I did, but can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
That's really strange because, I mean, it should be working. Let me switch my webcam off and on again. Let's see if it works. Okay, not now. Wonderful. So let me just switch. Oh, yeah, I know what I did. I know what. Sorry, guys. I just put the hand strap of my camera over my Atem Mini Pro. On the button, there is this fade to black button, you know. And once you put anything on this fade to black button, I just go dark, completely dark. Well, anyhow, let's talk about few lenses. Basically, it's many of these are my favorites, but in the same time, they are the lenses and obviously cameras, which are also part of the cashback. You know, we have started the cashback in mid of this month. It's ending, I think, 16th or 17th of May. But let's get to the products, which basically I love personally, because obviously I'm shooting most of the time on OM1 Mark II, or not most of the time. I should explain. OM1 Mark II I use when I shoot, let's say, something more serious, like events, whether it's indoor, outdoor. I mean, I use bright lenses. So for that, I use OM1. But I'm a mountaineer guy. So I spend lots of time up in the mountains. So basically, that's where I pick up my OM5 camera. Actually, in the Dolomite Mountains last year, I was so happy to actually be able to use this sand beige color, because everybody was looking at me, you know, when I was shooting, using it, everybody's like, oh, what a color, what a color. But anyhow, normally I use the silver black version, obviously. And then OM1 Mark II, as I said, it's like for more professional use. When we shoot birds in flight, when we shoot some sports activities, you know, where I definitely need the subject tracking, you know, that OM5 does not have that. OM1 Mark II, or even OM1, the first one, has the subject tracking. And that's where you need to be, let's say, more serious and more precise, and especially fast. which is something you don't need to be in the mountains. But basically what I have done this sort of very brief differentiation between OM1 Mark II and OM5 Mark II from the, let's say, outdoor and mountaineering point of view. So basically the resolution is the same. As you can see, there is just slight difference in the image stabilization. 6.5 is still extremely good. Obviously when you see 8.5, which is 2 EVs more, you would say, oh, that's mind-blowing, and it is. It's absolutely right. If you are using, for example, one of the wide lenses with OM1 Mark II, you have probably the best on the market as far as stabilization goes. But still, 6.5, you can very easily handheld 5-6 seconds with wide-angle lenses when you are shooting under, when the sun goes down, the light goes very low. Basically, you can really use a couple of seconds handheld, not need for a tripod. Then as for the high-res shot, which is something that definitely you will also need for this, let's say, landscape type of photography, which is something that I do in the mountains, then you need high-res shot. And in both cameras, whether it's OM5 or OM1, you do have the high-res mode handheld or tripod. Handheld is 50 megapixels, tripod is 80 megapixels, so it's the same. Live ND is quite different, even though, as I said last year in Dolomiti Mountains, obviously I was taking quite a lot of pictures of waterfalls. Still, ND16 was okay. So I was quite happy about that, even though I would love to have maybe 32, even 64. Obviously, if you have OM1 Mark II, or if you are going to buy OM1 Mark II, you are going all the way up to 128. So you will have the waterfalls and the water blurred absolutely wonderfully. As for the GND, graduated ND filter, it's only in OM1 Mark II and OM3. This is the two only cameras actually on the whole market. It's not like only within our brand, but on the whole market, there are only two cameras which offer this graduated ND filter, and it's an amazing stuff also. So if you are landscape photographers, live ND and GND is what you would need. Then about if you also take pictures of macro photography, for example, you are not only going up to the mountains, but you love to take some pictures of flowers and stuff like that. Focus stacking and focus bracketing is on both cameras. The only difference is that OM1 Mark II can stack 15 images, OM5 stacks 8 images directly on the camera. Then macro bracketing, which is called focus bracketing, both cameras have. There is the major difference, and that's why, as I said at the beginning, I differentiate the cameras, let's say for the mountaineering, landscape, and outdoor, and then event camera, and that is the subject tracking. Really, what we have in OM1 Mark II and OM3, that is the subject tracking, which is extremely helpful for moving subject, which is again something I don't shoot out in the mountains, so I don't care. Starry Sky AF, again, in both cameras, and the maximum sequential shooting obviously is different, but this is not something that you would probably need for the mountains. Maybe if you go to the mountains to shoot some animals, then yes, then you would need maybe 60 frames per second, more than 30. But imagine, or don't forget one thing, the latest, the best on the market DSLR from, let's say, some other brand, which was on the market, the most expensive DSLR which was there, could shoot 12 frames per second. And it was considered, a couple of years ago, it was considered the best sports camera ever. And it could do 12 frames per second. So now even OM5 Mark II, which is extremely small, tiny, lightweight, can shoot 30 frames per second. So it's really, really good. So this is just very short differentiation. But then I'm going to the lenses. Obviously, 714, it used to be my favorite, very up to basically the moment which we have announced 825. So for now, 714, I would only use maybe for architecture, interior, places and stuff where you really want to keep straight line. But if I go to the mountains, basically my major set is OM5 Mark II together with this lens, and that is the 825. And the major or the biggest reason basically is that you get not only the very wide angle, you not only get the 8mm, which is 60mm equivalent, but you can also go to 50mm equivalent, which is already the focal length which you can use for taking pictures of the friends or family that you are walking with, So obviously it's all sealed and weatherproof, as you could see. Here on these two images, you can actually see how small still it is, It is not the smallest wide-angle lens which we've got. Obviously, we have the 918, which is extremely tiny. So if you want to go really, really small and real lightweight, then the 918 would be the choice. But then 825 is much more universal. And then obviously 12 to 100. Funny, Niels, you probably know this lens? I mean, do we ever use it? I mean, to me, it's the most travel lens ever, which we have ever produced. What do you think? Fanny, you're unmuted.
Yeah, no, okay. I use the 1200 often because I do also a lot of reportage, and for this it's so perfect because you don't have to change lenses all the time, and you have a really good, perfect quality between 12 and 100, and so it's one of my favorite lenses for every day. And when I travel, maybe when I travel, I use smaller lenses or with
fixed lens, fixed focal length. Yeah.
focal, yes. But the 12-100 is, look, here, it's always on my camera.
Amazing. Yeah, I mean, really, if you travel and if you are one of those photographers who only want to have one camera and one lens, and you don't even want to change lenses on your trips, then it's either 12-100, this one, or 12-200, which I'll show you in a second. So basically these two lenses. Obviously, this one is a Pro, so the image quality is somehow better, obviously. And obviously also it has the image stabilization built in, which 12-200 does not have. But obviously 12-200 is much cheaper. So if you really want, and plus you are getting 100 millimeter extra reach. So 12-200 is also amazing travel lens. Anyhow, 4150-2.8, it used to be my best ever tele zoom lens. It still is when I shoot events like my friends' weddings and stuff like that, because I need the aperture, I need the bright lens for that. So it's still an amazing stuff. And this is just a couple of images which you can see what you can do with it. You can not only use it for taking, for example, pictures of animals or sports activities or concerts or these weddings I mentioned. You can also use it from the, let's say, close-up genre point of view, because as you can see, this nice flower on the right side or in the middle of the show, it's also being shot by the 4150-2.8. And then there is the 4150-4.0, which obviously is much smaller and much lighter. So for me, for the mountains, this is the lens I take, not the 2.8. It's too big, too heavy for me for the mountains, but 4150-4.0. The great thing about it, you can see it now on the image on the right side, being positioned in the palm on a hand. So it's really extremely small compared to the 2.8 version. Obviously, again, cheaper, smaller, obviously lighter. Yes, there are some drawbacks. You cannot attach teleconverters to it, which is something you can do with the 2.8 version, not with the 4.0 version. And also this focus clutch, which is in most Pro bright lenses, you cannot move on the 4.0 lens 4150. But I mean, you can still switch from autofocus to manual focus by just pressing a button on a camera or doing it in the menu. So there are a couple of ways how to do it. This is the 12-200 I mentioned already. As you can see, it has 100 millimeter more reach, and obviously the brightness is not as good as the 12-100. So there are, again, pluses and drawbacks, but this extra reach gives you this difference. I mean, imagine this, these are two shots shot on 12-200. And obviously, even the one on the left side is still not using the 12 millimeter wide angle. It was still somewhere in between. So we could be showing another image, which would be shot, which would be shooting or showing the whole countryside with the 12 millimeter wide angle lens. So it's extremely universal from the focal point of view. And what is also important, this is the writing on just below the right image, as you can see. If you take the combination of OM5 Mark II plus this extremely universal 12-200, you are getting a set camera and a lens, which is extremely universal, as I said, which is less than 1 kilo. It's only 873 grams. So if you really want to walk around with one camera and one lens on it, then this would probably be your kit. Unless you want the stabilization and, let's say, slightly better image quality, then I would recommend 12-100. Yeah. And last but not least, this is my last slide of this presentation. I'm not gonna bother you any second more, but this is something I think is extremely crucial, because you need to realize once you are choosing your lenses, because this is something that you should be concentrating on. Camera is always on the second part. if you want to become a good photographer in specific genre, concentrate on good lenses first and on lenses which will be good for you. So if you are traveling to the mountains, I would go for the 4.0 versions, because you are usually shooting under very good lighting conditions, because you are not indoor, you are outdoors, where there's always enough light, but the equipment is much lighter. So basically these three lenses, the wide angle, the basic 1245 4.0 and 4150 4.0, it is slightly over 1 kilo only. While the 2.8 version, altogether, all the three lenses give you almost 1,800 grams. So it's like roughly 750 grams more. So three quarters of a kilo. So there are differences. There are cons and pros, obviously. All these lenses are professional, so they're all weatherproof. They are sealed perfectly against dust, water, freeze, if you want more universal lenses, which you'll be able to use indoors as well as outdoors, go for 2.8 Pro versions. If you are only outdoor shooter, you'll be extremely happy with 4.0 versions. All from my side, Mishala.
I was like, all right, Tomas, we got to hurry up. No, I'm just kidding. You're doing a great job. Thank you for explaining all of the differences in between there. And it's always nice to get a refresher breakdown between the different cameras and lenses and kind of what works. And the 12-100 seems to be a crowd favorite down in the chat. Everybody is shouting that one out. All right, so let's jump into some questions. The first one is, I think, an easy one. If one of you guys has a camera plugged in to display the menu, does anyone have that accessible?
Yeah. What was the question?
Excellent. When using manual focus, how do you zoom in or magnify to see if your focus is sharp?
Okay, let me just switch to, where is it? Okay, so what do you do? What do you basically do? You go to this AF menu, and in the AF menu, you go all the way to the last sheet, which is about, when using manual focus, exactly. So you go to this MF Assist, which is the first line. You press OK, and then you've got like three basically assistants which can help you. You can either turn on the magnification, which will basically enlarge the middle part of the image so that you can see it better. What I do recommend is using focus peaking, which basically gives you a specific color. And then there is the focus indicator. I don't use it always, but I'll just show you what focus indicator is. So now when I switch, obviously I need to be switched to the manual focus, so which is something that I'm going to do right now. So now when I take my hand on the focus ring, let me just use my regular guys here. Okay, so these are
I use Legos in my demos too.
You do? Oh, that's amazing. So
Yes.
these are my assistants here. These are my assistants. So basically, you can see the line below, where on the left side there are mountains, which is like infinity. And then if I go with the ring to the right side, I go to the closer distance from the camera. Now, if I use, what would I use? For example, okay, let me just grab this old catalog from Olympus, which is also good for this sort of presentations. Okay, let me put it in front of me. I wasn't really ready for the question, but okay, so let's do it this way. I just need to check out if I have switched. Okay, I did. I will switch the focus indicator. I don't need. I need focus peaking. Okay, so it's on. So basically now you should be able to see the red color as I'm zooming in and out. Can you guys see the red color on the?
Yep.
Right. Yeah, it's working. Yep.
Yeah. So basically, everything that is in focus will be highlighted in this either red or yellow or white or black. You can obviously choose the color. You can even make it make the red color even more visible, like more vivid. But basically, this is what you would use. So basically, focus peaking. Let me just go back again. So this is where you go to MF Assist and you turn on the focus peaking. Obviously, you need to be in the manual focus here, and that's it. That's how it works.
And then if I can add something, I always work with the autofocus and manual focus mixed. Maybe Tomas, you can show how you set it, because then you
sure.
don't have to decide if you want to work manual or with autofocus. So you have both, and just if you want to check if it's really in focus, you stay on the you half press and you stay with the finger on the shutter, and you just turn a little bit the manual focus ring, and so now you can control if it's really the sharpness is where you want it to be. And if you have the focus peaking, mine is always on, you can also add the magnifier, and so you can really control. It depends on how you work. So if you work with the tripod, it's perfect with the magnifier, and if not, it's perfect with just the peaking. But yes,
I mean,
this is my setting, SAF and MF, and so you don't have to decide before. Yeah, sorry, Tom?
No, totally agree with you, Fanny. This single autofocus. So basically, as I switch it on, as you could have seen, basically this is where you would turn it on, AF plus MF on. Normally, when you are in the default setting, it's off. And once you turn it on, what you see in the control panel is that it's not only SAF now, it's SAF plus MF. Now CAF plus MF, and so on and so on. So basically, you will always have this MF. For the things which you want to focus manually sometimes, or combination of automatic and manual, usually things that don't move, it's absolutely perfect, exactly as you say, Fanny. On the other hand, when you are shooting something that moves, I totally recommend to switch it off and use, obviously not on OM5 because it's not there, but use on OM1 Mark II or OM3, use subject tracking, because it's much more precise than we have ever been as human beings. Yeah.
Okay.
We did it, guys. We made it through question 1. Thank you, Linda, for the question. Okay. So this is a big loaded question. Do any of you guys do video? Because I think there's going to be a lot of opinions on this one. But what are the best settings for videos on an OM1?
I mean, not really. I mean, I have done a couple of videos, obviously, but I don't consider myself a video maker. And it's the question is on the one hand easy, on the other hand not explainable or replayable properly, because there is no best setting on
Right.
any camera.
Yeah.
Because it very much depends on what you shoot, you know.
It depends on the scenes. No? Yeah.
It depends on the scenes, exactly. So there might be situations where you would still want to refocus, for example, from one person talking to another person talking manually, because it's almost impossible to do it in automated version. You know, because you need to tell the camera, okay, now the second person is speaking, but the second person is like 5 meters away from me, while the first person who was speaking first is only 2 meters from me. You know, so then you really need to use the manual focusing as it used to be in filmmaking industry for ages. But then again, if you would be shooting, I don't know, some sport events, some moving subjects, again, then there is slight different settings to a regular shooting. So you would probably need to ask more what sort of genre you want to record. You want to record like a family celebration or something really moving, because there are lots of different settings in the camera, obviously. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think when it really also kind of depends a little bit on what you're going to do with the video at the end.
Also.
Like, I think a lot of people get in this mindset that, you know, we need 8K or 4K or however many, and you need all this data. But realistically, behind that, you need a lot of places to store all that data, and a lot of people's output isn't necessary for. If you're just posting videos to, you know, social media or Facebook or Instagram, or sharing short clips on YouTube, you really don't need that much data involved in your video. There's a lot of settings where, I mean, a lot of times if I'm shooting short clips for things, I'm shooting in 24p and full HD, and that's it. And I just kind of let the camera do the talking for me if it's just something quick that I need. But like Tomasz said, it's really hard to tell you exactly what the best settings for video are unless we know exactly what you're trying to accomplish with the video you're shooting.
Yeah, maybe just let me just very briefly show the screen, because obviously if you just want to take a regular video, what you could do is you go to this. Can we enlarge it?
Yep. I'm working on it. Sorry, my
Yeah,
mouse
great.
was.
So basically, if what I have done is I switched the dial on the camera on the camera setting. Still, one thing I just want to point out. If you look at the dial where you have this PASM button, which are for or symbols for exposure modes, then there is this camera. It's still the film camera, or the symbol is still the film camera with the two wheels, on it. So it has nothing to do with modern digital age. But I mean, we all know and remember what this symbol is. So if you go with the dial on this symbol of a camera, you press OK button, then basically you get this control panel for camera settings, for the basic camera settings. So you can even see there is the control of the microphone,
Microphone,
headphones and so on. Yeah. But what is most important, basically, for the very basic settings, which you would need to do, is this part. So if you press OK here, and now it tells you info, which means it tells you press the info button on the camera. So if I press the info button on the camera, then you get the very basic choice. So if you want to shoot 4K, you want to shoot full HD or cinema 4K, you can even choose the frame rates if you want to go to 24, 25, 30, 60, depending on the region where you are shooting. So basically, this is what you would do. Or you can also, if you go to full HD, for example, we can go to, where is the all intra, 20 frames. Let's go to, for example, 24 frames. And why can I not switch this on and off? Anyhow, basically the basic settings which you see is here. But then this is like the very basic settings where you choose the frame rate, or where you choose the image quality, like full HD or 4K or cinema 4K. But then there's also the full menu, and this is it, where you can choose all the codecs, because that there is the 264, but also we've got a 10-bit codec, which is 265, which again, as Michelle was already talking about, it is even more, or it consumes even more data on the SD card, and obviously it needs more power in your computer later on once you edit the data. So there is the picture mode here, so you can even shoot the flat mode, OM log, which again, this is something that you would need to calibrate later on in the computer. So the question which was put there, what is the best setting for video, is really not easy to answer, because there is all sorts of settings for all sorts of scenes and all sorts of genres. So yeah, anyhow, I mean, there's lots of, all this basically menu is about setting up video, microphones, headphones, image quality of the video, and so on and so on. Yeah.
Sorry, my mouse clicker is going slow today. I apologize that it's taking a while to bring you guys back and forth. Yeah, and actually there's been several comments in the chat that people would love to see one of our deep dive videos on video settings. So obviously always helps us if you guys let us know what you're interested in learning more about, so that we can help structure some of our classes around that. We are looking at actually, guys, team, I'm looking at bringing in another one of our colleagues as a guest on one of these AMAs, so we could do some conversations about some deeper dives into video as well. So I know a lot of people want to know those answers, but we love when you give us that feedback so that we can make decisions on what else to bring to the table. Also, Tomasz, somebody said that your Lego looks like me, so I'm very excited that I've got a tiny Lego me floating around.
Let's see. It's actually you, right? Correct. Well,
let me hold my hands like Legos.
I didn't want to tell you, but that's exactly the reason why I'm using it.
I really have a Lego with a camera, and that's me. Someone gave it to me with black hair and the camera, and that's so nice.
Oh, that's perfect. I just have a Lego hot dog man. All right, sorry guys, we're on a tangent. Okay, this one should be kind of quick and easy. I think it's about photographing in the snow. So the question is, example, outdoor winter snow scenes with bright sunlights. I don't want the snow to be blown out. Do I change my exposure compensation to plus or minus? Fanny, do you photograph the snow ever? Nils, it snows up in Hamburg, right?
No,
No? Oh, really?
but I would change to plus.
It says,
So
I think it's plus, but it seems counterintuitive. Can you explain why you would change to plus?
Normally, when I don't change to plus, the snow is too dark, and the color of the snow is too dark. And when I shoot snow, I would love to see the snow in white. And so I have to bring more light into the scene. And in my point of view, I would change to plus. But Thomas, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely, totally agree. The reason behind is that the camera itself, if the majority of the scene is too bright, which will be snowy area, for example, snowy mountains, snowy fields, then the camera thinks that it's too overexposed. So it automatically goes down with the exposure, even without you doing anything. So it actually tends to make these things bright, darker. So you need to tell the camera, hey, no, don't make it dark. Go back up, go back up. So basically the camera goes, for example, -1 EV, right? So you need to go back, and going back means you need to go to plus. Same if you would be shooting, for example, a black, whatever, black train or old black trains, those coal trains, you remember them? They were all made of very big black pieces of metal. So if you take picture of that, on the image, it would look gray. So it would actually, the camera would actually consider it too dark. So it will make the automatically to make it brighter. So basically, again, you need to make it darker. The advantage of mirrorless cameras, guys, is you see it in the camera, you see it on the LCD, you see it in the viewfinder. So once you think it's too
before
bright,
you shoot, no?
Before you shoot, you see exactly as you say, Niels. So before you shoot, you see it. So you just move the back dial, go up or down, and you will see it immediately. What changes you are doing, whether you are making it slightly brighter or slightly darker. Yeah, so just do it.
But if you're not as nerdy as we are, and you are not a professional photographer, the cameras are prepared for this situation. So you can change the metering to the spot metering and high. And that's exactly for this situation. Maybe, Tom, would you show the menu?
I'm there. I am already there. I'm already there. I will just switch to a regular.
Yes. So if you don't know all the things, exposure, what do I have to do? So just switch in this perfect situation, because the spot highlight is exactly for the situation where you have white on white. Maybe you want a snowman in the snow and you want to show the contrast. Then that's the perfect situation. And you have the same situation for a black cat in a cave, maybe, and you want to see the fur. It's fur, yes, a little bit of the structure, and so that's perfect in this situation without knowing everything we know, because we want to make it possible for everyone to take nice pictures. And so there are these settings, and high, okay, high if there is a lot of highlight, and shadow if there is everything black.
That's exactly for what it's used for, right? Exactly. Absolutely perfect. Funny. Just one thing, if you are already a little bit nerdy, as you mentioned, Fanny, or more experienced, just use the front dial. This is normally you would see 0, because the camera is constantly measuring exposure. But if you leave it to this metering, which is like the all image measuring, and obviously it calculates some kind of proper exposure for the whole image, not only for the spot area, then it may seem either too dark or too bright. And you see that if you are, for example, in the P mode, which is automatic mode, you see those two zeros, right? And also the symbol of the front dial. So just use your front finger and move it to the right side or to the left side, and you see exactly what it does with the image. So if you want to make it slightly brighter, go to 0, 3, 0, 7, or 1, 0. If you want to make it darker, just go the other way around. And that's as easy as that. Imagine you would be shooting on a DSLR or even on a film camera. I mean, you know, you would never have this option. So we are in a good photography age.
We have a lot of options, and you can. We just show you the different possibilities.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. So we're going to move into some outdoor black and white photography. So David asked, do you use contrast increasing filters, yellow, orange, or red, when photographing black and white in black and white mode outdoors?
I don't, honestly, even though I use black and white photography, especially for streets, when we do some street workshops and street portraits and stuff like that. I even encourage people, hey, guys, use black and white. And let me just show you quickly where and how you can do it. Obviously, it is useful. You will actually see the results right now. So basically, what you would do with the camera, there is an easy setup. And that's this one here.
Yep.
You can change the picture mode, yes.
Yeah, you can very easily switch to this, where was it? M mode.
You passed it. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I was just looking at something on the screen and not on the camera. So basically, this is where you would go in the M mode. Immediately, your image is black and white, you see. So Michala's red hair is not there anymore.
Oh, I got to screenshot you or spotlight you. There we are. There I am, looking great perfect. In black and white.
Thanks. And also, once you are in there, you can go not only to change the sharpness and contrast, but you can go to, what was the question actually, to go to this filter, color filters, monochrome filters. So, and even the curves, but basically you can do this. So change the color filter.
Can you show the color filters really quick?
Yeah, I will. Just to switch off the question because it's not visible under the question. I don't see it.
I forgot you're doing this on the tiny screen.
Yeah. Okay, so and this is basically look at for example her color, right? So green filter makes the color makes it more dark. Red filter is basically making it almost white looking. Orange, yellow, and none. So basically these 4 filters are changing the scene completely. Like in this case, for example, I would definitely use the green filter to make it more contrasted for this sort of image. Not red, not orange, probably, well, maybe yellow, but definitely the green one would be the best for me, obviously. Yeah.
Just a little tip for these filters. I do a lot of portrait and I use the red filter because it does not show every red thing you have on the skin. So you don't have to edit so much on the skin, and that's really, really nice.
Yep.
I actually agree. I keep my pen F. I have my pen F dialed because I'm old school and I still love that camera. I have it dialed on monochrome, and I have the red filter as well because it smooths everything out when I'm photographing everyone. It makes everybody look so nice. But not for landscapes. I know that's kind of the opposite of what we're talking about, but it's true. It looks very nice. Okay, also what I'm a huge fan of, and I know this is silly, but in the art modes, the dramatic tone, is it dramatic?
The black and white, right?
Yeah. The black and white dramatic tone is like my favorite landscape.
I love them too.
Setting ever. When I just want to take, after I've already got the shot that I want and I want something dramatic and crazy, it makes clouds look so cool.
I just wonder which one.
I don't remember which one it is.
I love this one. I love the grainy films, for example. And which one did you say, Michela?
The dramatic tone.
Oh, the dramatic tone.
The second dramatic tone is the black and white dramatic.
I think it's the second black and white, right? Wasn't
it?
No.
No, where is it?
Keep going. It's past. Yeah.
Keep going. What?
Yeah,
there you go.
Here,
right there.
From 1 to
It doesn't work very well for Legos, but it makes clouds look.
But for guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you don't play with the art filters very often, sometimes like after you get the shot, just switch on an art filter and try to experiment a little bit with it in camera. It's a lot of, it really is a lot of fun. and you get something very unique.
Obviously, one thing you should not forget, and that is if you are using art filters or even this black and white M mode, it's only in JPEG. If you shoot RAW plus JPEG, it will only be the JPEG influenced by these filters. You will still be able, even though you're shooting black and white, you will still be able to go back to color in the raw data, obviously.
Hey, Tomas, what camera are you using? What's plugged in right now? OM1 Mark II?
It's only one Mark II, yeah, at the moment.
Okay,
yeah.
somebody in the comments was asking. So
Yeah.
most of, Richard, just for your information, a lot of the stuff that we're showing here is still in even the E-series camera. So EM1 Mark II, EM1 Mark III, EM5. They're just aligned a little bit different in the menus, but they're still kind of all in the same places. Like all the autofocus stuff is still in gears A for autofocus. The super control panel is pretty similar. It's definitely a little bit different and enhanced, but you should still be able to find most of these features.
Absolutely true, but I have to say, once we switch to this new menu, I'm so happy for it. I'm really so happy that we even have it in OM5 Mark II already now, because it's so easy to use. And I mean, the design is much, let's say, much more friendly and much easier to use. I usually use the front and back dial to move around because it's so quick, you know. So yeah, I mean, I was used to the old menu, but not anymore.
You know what's crazy though is whenever I have to help somebody with an old menu now, I have to really think and stop and go through. Yeah. And yes. I taught that menu for years and I don't remember the old menu at all.
I know. It's crazy.
All right. Let me hold your camera for a sec. I'll figure it out. But yes, I agree. I love the new menu. Okay. Speaking of the OM1 Mark II, is there a way to switch? I can't talk today, guys. This is a live stream. Quickly switch between two shooting drive modes. Ideally, something like having two favorite modes attached to a button. I'm going to say custom modes are going to be. Oh, nope. Fanny's got it. Yes, go for it, Fanny.
There are different possibilities. For me, the fastest possibility is to press the OK button. Just one time, then you go to the drive and then you just turn the front wheel and then you are directly in another drive mode. First possibility. The other is that you put it, as you said, on a custom mode. Right. And if you don't want to turn the program dial, you just put one of the custom modes on one of the buttons and then you just have to press it and you can change between the two. I think this is the fastest. The fastest. I love to work with the drive because I also use the super control panel, the OK menu, because also if I look through the viewfinder, I look on it and so I don't lose my object and I'm really fast in changing and just press it one time, not the second time, because then you have to press another time and just press, change and continue. And that's, for me, it's the fastest possibility. I do everything in the super control panel.
Yeah, I mean, I usually use the C buttons because obviously you can go with the dial where you have the C1, C2, C3 and so on. But actually turning this around is much slower than just pressing a button. So what you need to do, guys, is you prepare the whole camera for a specific genre that you are shooting, and then you memorize it. You memorize it just very shortly. You go to this first menu and you go to custom mode, and here you've got like 4 memories to memorize C1 to C4 places, which is your memories. So you just go to the assign. Once you have the settings done already on the camera, and you press set OK. Now it's set. Then when I go back with the menu, now you already see set symbol. So basically it means that if I go to C1 anytime, I will have all the settings which have been prepared by myself in the camera. But what you can also do is you can go then to this control panel to here. And this is the place where you actually set up your dials. So for example, I go to this plus minus exposure button. And then what I would do is I would choose the C1 here. And now it means that this particular button, which you can even see how it shows where it is on the camera, where it's positioned on the camera. Then just by pressing this button, I turn on all the C1 settings. By pressing it again, I switch it off. So it's really easy and really simple, or should be.
And very fast.
And very fast, exactly. Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you, friends. Sorry for sneezing on camera, everyone. I saw Fanny's face too. She's laughing at me. This is what I love about a live stream is nothing ever goes right. Right. Sorry, catching up with the questions. This is a quick and easy one. Are all modern OM system lenses weather sealed? Not yet, but most are.
Well, all the pro lenses are, for sure. And then also some non-pro lenses like the 12-200 we mentioned. Also the macro 60mm is weather sealed. As far as I remember, correct me guys, the 150 is also,
yep.
40-150, the 70 1.8, and the 25 1.8, the new ones.
Yeah.
So all rest are sealed.
And it's always written. You always find somewhere written splash proof. Sometimes you really need light to see it. It depends, yeah.
I know, I was trying to look for it too. I'm like, it's so faint, but it is there at the bottom of your lens.
Yes.
And yeah, everything we've come out with in the past couple years has been weather sealed. And I would say most of our lineup is. There's only a few that aren't.
Yeah. There is one easy trick to find out if you, let's say, are blind enough not to see this splash proof symbol on it. Because honestly, guys,
hard to see.
I didn't know, honestly, until now. I never
really? Yeah, it says splash proof on the side.
I know. I just read it on 90mm lens. Sorry, guys. I need to quit my job because I'm too bad in it. Anyhow, one thing which you will, one easy trick how you find out. You take the lens, there's the bayonet mount, and you put your finger around the bayonet, and you will find out there is a rubber sealing. There's a rubber sealing just at the outer edge of this metal ring. There's this rubber sealing. If you don't have the rubber sealing, the lens is not weatherproof. Because what is important is not only the sealings inside of the lens, obviously. There are quite a couple of O-rings. But you need to have the sealing between the camera body and the lens itself. Otherwise, the water will just get through, you know. So you need to have this rubber ring around the bayonet mount also on the lens.
So if you can't see, feeling is not a shame.
I didn't know that about the rubber ring. So we're learning all kinds of new things today, guys. I thought this would be a really quick, easy question.
Tomorrow, Thomas will check every lens if it's written splash proof on it.
No, I mean,
They
it
are.
is. Yeah, I see it now.
All right. Next up, does anyone in the group today recommend turning on anti-shock and maybe giving a little explanation why? Because I actually get asked this question a lot too. Fanny looks like she's ready to go. Do you use it?
No, never.
No.
Never? No?
No.
No.
I mean, you know, I think we all know what the reason was behind. When we launched the first OM5, really the very first mirrorless OM5 camera, we used to get quite a bunch of images being sent by end users, by customers. They have been shot at speeds of 250 of a second, 320 of a second. So quite fast speeds. And still the images looked sort of like there was some motion blur, some tiny but motion blur. Then obviously R&D found out that it was the cause of the mechanical shutter, you know, which was actually causing the image stabilization, because the whole sensor, imagine guys that the whole sensor is actually floating in magnetic field in the lens, I mean in the camera. So once you turn on the camera, the free magnets, the free electromagnets actually centralize the sensor in the central position and keep it there by the electromagnetic field. Once you switch it off, the sensor is parked down. So, but basically, the way that the sensor was floating and then the mechanical shutter went down sometimes, really sometimes, it didn't happen to all people, but sometimes it could cause, the first mechanical shutter could actually cause the motion of the sensor during the shot was taken, when the shot was taken. So it caused this motion blur. So we immediately came up with a firmware solution, which was this one, which was the anti-shock version, which actually meant that the first shutter was electronic, and only the second shutter, which was closing the light going through, was mechanical. So it's like half electronic, half mechanical shutter. But then with the new models, the R&D completely changed or improved the way of how this mechanical shutter works. You know, we've got different mechanical shutters now, which do not cause this problem anymore. So honestly, I don't know why it's still there, but
Well,
maybe
I
we
don't
just
think
keep
it's
it
in most of the newer cameras. Like it's not in OM3.
I think it is. I think
Yes,
actually
it is. You can activate it
you
in
can
the
activate it. It's in the
somewhere in
menu.
the menu.
Yeah.
I
It's in
just
the
don't
menu,
have
but-
mine.
Yeah, but you have to check the box to actually, so that it shows in the control panel. Otherwise, it doesn't show. Because it's
So
really not
maybe-
necessary. I mean,
Yes. And if it's necessary, really, if you just do long exposures, then it's, yes.
and
You
also
can
with the for example, if the new sensor which we've got in OM3 and OM1s, the readout of the sensor is much faster than was on the previous sensors. So there's like almost no need to use mechanical shutter. There are only very few moments. For example, if you would be shooting some lizards, you know, behind glass with these flickering lights, then you might be switching to a mechanical shutter. But that's just about it, you know. Very few moments where you would need mechanical shutter. Otherwise, I shoot always electronic. So front and back shutter is all electronic all the time.
Thanks. So I'm going to answer that one in the chat. So this one's a pretty quick, simple one too, but I do also get asked this one a lot. Does focus stacking always take both RAW and JPEG of each frame and then stack them into a JPEG? Mine always does that. Am I doing anything wrong? I think it's just the camera settings.
Yeah, it is the
Means-
camera setting.
What?
Yeah, what, Fanny?
Okay, yeah. So
Oh,
it's,
you said I thought you said nil.
Yeah, I thought too. Basically, it depends on the setting of your storage. If you are storing only JPEGs, or if you are storing JPEG plus RAW, or if you are storing RAW only. So basically, if you store your images as JPEG plus RAW, no matter which type of JPEG plus RAW, then obviously you will have all the images, whether it's 8, 10, 15, whatever number is that you choose, all of them will be stored not only as RAW, but also in JPEG. But the final stacked image will be only in JPEG, right?
Yeah.
So for example, if you would be shooting only RAW, so let me go to RAW.
it's not, yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, Fanny, sorry.
If you, before you set focus stacking, you can't set just RAW. Then it's always RAW and JPEG, because the last one is always a JPEG. So in the focus, if you first turn off focus stacking, it's not turned on, I think, because then it does not appear.
All right, focus stacking is one of these things which you cannot show because of the HDMI cable, guys. Sorry.
Yes, but it's not possible, because as the last picture, the stacked picture is always JPEG, you can't choose just RAW.
All right. Yeah. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah. Sorry for that.
It looks.
But
now
anyhow, this is exactly something I don't have the setup right now for it because I wasn't ready for the question. But normally, if I want to show all these grayed out things to my clients, to you guys watching these YouTubes or Zoom lessons, I need to have a second camera actually observing my screen, my LCD on the camera where I'm showing it, because this is quite unfortunate that some of the things do not work, and this is the reason why. It's one hand for you. If some of the let's say setups in the menu are not white, but are grayed out, and you want to find why, just press OK button. So I'm pressing OK now, and it tells you. In this case, it just tells me HDMI because I have the HDMI cable connected to my camera, right? So, but it might be some other things. So basically, if something is gray out, press OK, and it will tell you what's the reason behind. In this case, it's the HDMI cable.
So I can, it's on my camera, but I can't show it, I think. No. But there is not just raw. It's okay.
Okay, cool.
Now, of course, a bunch of questions are coming in, and we're coming right up on the hour. So I'm going to try to get through these last ones as quick as possible. We just did this one, so you can go away. There's 2 GND questions that are coming up. First of all, we'll need to use probably the camera. Is there a way to change setting of either shutter or f-stop when using the GND filter built in on the OM1 Mark II? And this one got me when we were in Spain training on this camera. I could not figure this part out until Tito showed me, I think.
Yeah, because GND or ND is just for longer exposures. So you just can set it with S or with M because it's always, I think the fastest time you can set is, I think, what's the fastest?
Tomasz,
I'm just checking. But I mean, it sure is possible.
You can change the shutter speed and f-stop. It's just you have to push a button first to do it. And I don't remember what it is. Because when you're in the GND mode, it's moving the filter with your front and rear dial. So you have to press a setting to switch it to your f-stop and shutter speed up.
No, I thought if there is there a way to change
what you do basically, let me just show you. Obviously, I cannot show you the GND because the GND again doesn't show because of HDMI. But what you need to do is this. Let me switch the menu. So basically, again, exactly as you said, Michela, this is. Let me switch to, for example, the shutter speed mode or shutter speed priority. So basically, front dial gives you this. Let's say big changes. And the back dial only the small ones, right? Very, very tiny steps. But now, if you go to OK button and you set up one of these buttons to GND, so basically, which means that, for example, I would set up one button to quickly switch off and on, well, which doesn't show again because of the HDMI now. But let me again explain. If you switch one of the buttons, or if you set up one of the buttons for GND, you can easily use it for turning it on and turning it off. Once you switch it off, you can set up the speed and aperture and all this, and then again you switch it on again by the simply press of the button. I'm not sure if there is some other way around. Maybe there is, but this is the way I'm using it.
I think the same problem is also at the keystone correction, but we can show it because this is also one of the ones we can show here.
I think this is the best way.
If you want to change just the lights, you half press and then you can turn the dials. That's really a sensitive thing. If you set keystone correction and then you want to just to change the exposure, you can if you half press. And I think at the GND it's the same.
You can actually. Right. I just found one thing. You can actually, or you don't necessarily need to press or assign a button, because again, I'm learning. I just found out you can only press the display button, which is on the right side of the viewfinder, or sorry, on the left side from the viewfinder. If you have the GND on, and if you press this button, you go immediately to control panel, where you can set up speed or aperture or exposure correction, whatever you want to, and you press the monitor button again, and you are back in the GND filter. So this is probably the easiest and fastest way. So you don't have to set up a specific button. You can, obviously, but you don't need to. Does it work with you?
Fanny's right. If you half press the shutter like you're going to focus, you can use the front and rear dials to change your
Yes.
exposure.
Yes.
Yeah, but
It's kind of complicated to do
it's
on the
quite
front dial, though.
complicated from the
Yeah,
from the handleability point of
actually-
view, you know.
Yeah.
You have
Because-
to control everything, but it's possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's better to do it maybe two hands, you know, one hand holding the camera and half pressing it, and then second hand doing the changes, you know. But then to me, it's much easier to actually just press the monitor button, you know, to do the changes regular way, the front dial, back dial, and then press it again. Yeah.
All right, quickly an opinion question, and then we got to wrap up for the day, but you guys can always leave us more questions in the chat and we will try to get through those answers. And of course, we'll be back next month with another topic. I'm not sure what it'll be yet because we haven't decided, but you can also give us ideas for what you want us to talk about in the chat. We're always looking for new ideas for these AMA sessions. Last one up for you guys to debate is there any advantage to using the graduated neutral density in camera as opposed to using a linear gradient in post-production?
There is one major difference. You don't need to buy it. You don't need to carry it around.
No, they're saying about using it in like Lightroom, like using the linear gradients in Lightroom. Is there an advantage to doing it in camera or in Lightroom?
Well, there is, because there is one physical difference. And physical difference means that GND filter is actually taking several shots. You know, it's not one shot. It's not one single shot. It's not one single raw. If it was one single raw, then I would totally agree. Yeah, just take one shot and do all the changes in the computer later on when developing the image. But this is several shots, and there is different exposure done for the, let's say, the upper part, which is above the line, and different exposure. So you are actually combining different exposures together. And for the upper part, you take different exposure than which is the see-through part, which is below. So it's not like one image. It's like it's the same with Live ND. If you are taking Live ND images, it's not one shot with long exposure. It's series of shots. Every single one of them is with short exposure. But if you combine them together, which is what camera is doing, it stacks these images together. Then every single thing which was moving and is basically in different position in different images, if you stack them together, then you see this, how you call it, Michela, the white waterfall, smudged basically, or I don't know what the English expression is.
Oh, like the slowed shutter speed?
Yeah, but basically the waterfall, if you use Live ND for the waterfall, then the waterfall looks like a white something.
Smooth, yeah.
Yeah, smooth, very smooth. So with GND, again, it's not one image. It's a series of images with different exposures, and they are stacked together like that. So yeah, if it was one image, then we would probably not need it, but this is really several shots. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I would agree. What about you, Franny? I was gonna call you Franny. Wow, you can tell we're done and it's been an hour because words aren't even coming out of my mouth anymore. So somebody in the comments did mention, and this is what Tito taught me. See, we needed Tito here today too. We need Spain representing. When we were in Spain, he showed me that if you are in GND mode and you hit the info button, it bounces back and forth between the gradient and your camera settings. And I just tested it on the OM3 and it works. I didn't know that. I remember Tito teaching me that 2 years ago in Spain, but it's been a while. And
you see, and now we found out that it also works with the monitor or display button.
Yeah. So we found 4 different ways you can do it. And we all work together, and this is why I love the comment section. Sorry, Fanny, go.
And it also works with the keystone correction. It's also the same. Also with the info button and also with the monitor button. I didn't know this, Thomas. That's great.
I hope that Japanese guys are listening, and we'll probably lose our jobs after tomorrow.
No. That's the whole great thing about doing these AMAs is when we don't know something, we all end up learning something together or testing it on screen, or somebody in the comment section knows. And our lovely Rob Check is down in the comment section, who's like a genius whiz when it comes to our cameras too. So I expect he can always help us as well. So I feel like we've done a really great job all learning together and experiencing these things together. And it's been we've been doing these for almost 2 years now, right?
I think so.
These
Yeah,
shows?
maybe more.
I think
Maybe even
so.
more.
Yeah. And we consistently have learned at least one new thing on each episode. So I think that's really positive. That shows growth.
It's probably more, Michelle, because we started all these online things during COVID, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So it's even maybe 5 years already or something.
5 years, yeah. 4 or 5 years.
Gosh. Well, we're 5 minutes over, but thank you to all the people that are still on and still listening to us talk. We definitely appreciate that. And like I said, if you have any ideas for anything else you guys would like to see, always leave us a comment. It helps us build better shows for everyone. And we look forward to seeing you guys next month. Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye. Have a nice evening or day.
Morning.